morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is the last of our series of our kickoff event, but we will have our campaign because I do want to give a brief update on our goals and total. So I'm happy to announce that we've raised $208,000 so far since the beginning of October. So we're at 28% of our goal of $750,000. So thank you for those who are watching who have contributed so far, and I'll thank in advance those who will contribute. Those who haven't made up their mind yet, I just want to encourage you. The need is great in our community this year more than ever. So I want to invite Adam to join me now, and he's going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the needs of the community. Welcome, Adam.
Hi, Kelly. Thanks for having me, and thanks everyone for being on the call. My name is Adam Barron. I'm the Director of Workplace Campaigns at United Way, and I work closely with Kelly and team on your campaign each year. So it's great to get an update on how you guys are doing about 1 month into the campaign. Congratulations. Continue to educate your employees, your staff about United Way. We have a little bit more of a focused activity here today. We're going to focus on our emergency basic needs and kind of our response to COVID-19. It's something as we approach November of 2020. It's something that affects all of us certainly, and no one is immune to the effects that we're having. Whether it's the health crisis, the financial economic crisis, or the social and racial crisis that we're dealing with. It really hits us, everyone, in very different ways, and we're all working to figure out what we can do moving forward. For United Ways, in terms of their involvement, our involvement, we're very much built for this type of moment where we're in crisis, but we're able to work with our corporate partners like the university, our nonprofit partners in the community that we help support, and also our governmental officials who we work with to help with some of the decision-making processes, and to really be on top of what each day is going to look like. We're all pivoting as we move through, and that's something that we're really, again, built to do, to pivot from one focus to another, to identify what the needs are of the community, and then to act on those needs. So we're in very close communication with all of our partners to make sure that we have all the necessary information to take next steps and to kind of guide our donors through next steps, and also the individuals that we serve. You may have heard, hopefully, of the Impact Fund in the past, and that's our general fund that we ask donors to support. And with those dollars, we're able to really stretch out throughout the community, whether it's to financially struggling families, children and youth, senior aging adults, individuals with disabilities, veteran, women. When you give to the Impact Fund, we're able to take those dollars and really put them to where we believe is the greatest need. And we, again, work with our partners to make sure we're identifying the appropriate places to give those dollars to. So we encourage you to continue to give to the Impact Fund. We also have an Emergency Basic Needs Fund. And that fund's been around for a long time, but it's certainly been magnified by the last 6-7 months that we've been dealing with COVID. And for our Emergency Basic Needs Fund, it's a one-time gift and an opportunity for an individual or a family to apply for a $700 grant to be able to help them get out of crisis, to pay for a rent or a utility bill, transportation, put food on the table. It's that $700 that's really going to keep them afloat and allow them to use those dollars elsewhere. So it's something that has certainly been magnified over the last several months, and we will continue to push emergency basic needs. And the university is also engaged in that process, and we'll tell you at the end how you can give to the emergency basic needs as a part of your annual gift. So we're very much hyper-focused on EBN for children, for their basic needs. The kids are in school and out of school, and a big part of what kids receive in school are meals, breakfast and lunchtime. And for those that aren't in school, they're struggling to find those meals and to have those healthy meals. And so we're working with many of our partners to make sure we're providing those grab and go meals throughout the course of the school year. We had many projects over the summer that allowed families and individuals to go pick up food and to have that available to them. So that's been a very big focus of ours, and financially struggling families, of course, to give those individuals some support along the way. We also have a resource called 211. It's a crisis referral hotline, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that allows individuals to call in for any type of need that they may have. And of course, our call volume has increased dramatically since the pandemic, but it's really been a resource and a lifeline for so many people in the community. And it could be a conversation about any type of need that's available. And we're really happy to include in our conversation today a member of that 211 team. Cinda Watkins is our 211 Human Services Manager, and she works very closely with our resource navigators to understand the calls that are coming in and to address those needs and to get the individuals that are calling to the places they need to get back on their feet, to get out of crisis mode. So I am going to introduce Cinda to take you through the process of 211 to learn more about it, and you'll also be able to listen to a 211 call here with us today. So welcome, Cinda. It sounds like Cinda is just having some technical difficulties. Give us just another minute. Thanks for your patience.
Adam, you had mentioned the QR code.
Yes.
Would you like to just talk about that first?
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Kelly. Yep, I can do that. Absolutely. So the QR code, as you may see, in a store and coffee shop, all over everywhere now, is that that box that you can hold up your camera on your phone to and have access to our pledge site directly. It doesn't give you all the options that you would normally have, where you can search for different agencies and that you don't normally give to, but it does give you an opportunity to give to emergency basic needs. It's linked to your work email that you have at the university. Here's the code on the screen, and you can just hold your phone right up to it and be able to give directly to EBN. So we encourage people to do that as a part of your gift this year. Again, it's providing individuals with a $700 one-time gift to be able to stay on their feet and to have some of those basic needs that they aren't able to normally provide based on the current situation that we're in. And for many of these individuals, that are applying for emergency basic needs, there are many that have been in crisis well before COVID. But certainly the volume of individuals who are now calling our 211 hotline are those that are first-time callers, that are calling because they have never been in need before, but now they're in that place where they do have to call and ask for assistance. So the number of people that are calling has really grown tremendously. And it looks like Cinda is back on the call. Cinda, we were just sharing our QR code. No problem. Some technical difficulties. Are you ready to go? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. So
I apologize.
No, it's okay. So we'll share your PowerPoint and we'll continue. Thanks, Cinda.
Fabulous. Technology is supposed to make our lives easier, but no matter when we try to use it and rely on it, there are issues. So if you can go back to slide 1. So 211, hopefully everyone on the call knows about 211 and knows what we do here. We are a 24-hour service. We provide assistance to link people to human service agencies within the community. Next slide. There's a variety of different ways that people can reach out to us, of course, through simply calling us here at 211, by texting with us or chatting with us via our website. We want to make it as easy as possible for individuals to be able to reach out and connect with us. We're available 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 24 hours, holidays. Crisis doesn't have a timeline. no clock that says, oh, at this time is when this is going to happen. So it's really important that we do make ourselves available. And I think the pandemic has only amplified that even more, that people are really suffering, really struggling with a lot of things right now. And we want to make sure that we're available whenever they're ready to reach out to us. We want to make sure that we're here. Next slide. We also want to make sure that, I think that for a period of time that there may have been a misconception about reaching out to 211. People may have thought that you had to be extremely low income, that you had to be receiving public assistance or something like that. We want everyone in the community to know that anyone can reach out to 211. Many times we have professionals that reach out. It's really hard to keep track of what all of the resources are that are out there and what's available. So we want to be known as kind of the go-to. We contact 211 to make sure that we have the most accurate and up-to-date information about what resources can help people. I think the one that I have underlined and bolded there is the one that right now I think is really coming to the top of mind, is that people that may have never had to reach out for help before are individuals that are reaching out to us. The pandemic has put people in a situation where they may have been existing paycheck to paycheck, been able to make things work, but now, whether their hours have been cut or they've completely lost their jobs, they've been quickly hurled into a situation where they need help. And 211 is here to really help those individuals. Next slide. So what we've decided to do is share a clip of audio from an actual 211 contact that we had here at the contact center. You're going to hear one of our resource navigators by the name of Shalisa actually assist this person via phone. And this is an example of someone who has been affected by the pandemic and is really struggling and really needing some assistance. We're going to take a couple breaks during this call. It has been edited, so we kind of pulled out sections that we thought would be impactful. We're going to take 2 pauses or 3 pauses during the call, and we're going to just kind of review and talk about kind of what's happening during these segments. So if you want to go ahead and start that audio.
Good morning. Thank you for calling 211. My name is Shalisa, and how can I help today?
I was calling because I heard on the news I could call to see if I could get help with paying rent.
Okay. Is that the only assistance that you need today?
No.
Okay.
So there you heard Shalisa kind of begin the call with the individual. And if you could hear in her voice there at that very end before we paused, she kind of said, oh gosh, no, that's not the only thing that I'm having difficulty with right now. So what we do is we work with an individual to determine exactly what those needs are so that we can help assist them. But as you could hear in her voice, she's struggling at this point in time. So go ahead and start that audio back up.
Can you tell me everything so I can search my database, ma'am?
Okay. I need help with food. I don't know how our food bank is working anymore, so I'm on disability though. I'm disabled, so I'm not able to get anywhere with food assistance.
Okay. All right. And what else did you need help with today?
I needed help with my rent because I'm not working. I usually work part-time, and I am getting behind in my utilities and my rent. So.
Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let's do a brief intake. This will help me narrow down what programs to refer you to, okay? And are all your utility services on?
Yes, they are.
All right. Thank you. And you mentioned that you were working part-time. Were you laid off due to the pandemic?
Yes.
Okay. And does your son also have medical insurance?
He's doing some type of medical assistance because he's out of work because he recently had a tumor on his lung.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yes, right around the time the pandemic started, he got really sick. So, but he's not working.
All righty. Okay, so let me recap everything that I'll be looking for assistance for.
Okay.
Rent, food delivery, sewage, and gas bill payments. Was there anything else that I could assist with before I put you on hold?
No, I think those are the only things that we're having trouble with right now.
When I come back on the line, I can text the information, email it, or you can write it down. Which would you prefer?
I would prefer you to email it, so I'll have it available.
Okay, sure. Give me a few minutes and I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
So there you heard Shalisa ask a variety of different questions to the caller. That's just a sample of some of the questions that we ask in order to get a better picture of kind of what's occurring with that individual. It varies caller to caller, the kind of information, kind of where the conversation leads us and what questions that we need to ask. Those questions really help us determine eligibility for different programs. As we're searching the database, then that's going to help eliminate programs that they wouldn't be eligible for. We don't want to provide them information that's not going to be helpful, and it helps us refine so that we make sure that we're pointing them in the right direction of agencies and funding that's going to be most likely to be able to give them assistance. And then you heard her say, ask if the individual would like us to text or email that information to them. Someone that's in crisis, the last thing that they want to have to be doing is actually writing down all this information about agencies to reach out to. So we, again, try to make it as easy as possible. And that includes, we can text and email that information directly to them so that they have all the information they would need in order to reach out to them. If you want to go ahead and start that audio again.
It's holding. Okay, so I did email you some resources that might be able to help you.
So
with everything. I also wanted to ask you if you wanted me to submit an application to our United Way COVID-19 relief for assistance with your rent and utilities.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I submitted your electronic application to the United Way COVID-19 fund. So the goal is to try to get you assistance with paying your rent, utilities, and to get you some food. In the meantime, what you're going to do is call those other agencies that I gave you and ask them for assistance as well. The funds are very limited through our financial relief, and so you might not have your total amount covered. So that's why you're going to contact those other agencies to see if they can help as well. For your food, so there is a program, food delivery, community delivery hotline. So here's the goal of this program. They are set up to have volunteers grocery shop for you or pick up your food from a food pantry and then deliver it to your home. And I'm also going to give you some other programs that are offering food delivery as well, but I'm going to do your application for this program first. The name of this food delivery program is called Macedonia FACE, F-A-C-E. So they have volunteers that might be able to deliver food to you. Their phone number is 412-281-2573. So what you're going to do is just call them, ask for help with getting food delivered to your house. Okay?
Okay.
Anything else I could assist with today before we end our call? And would it be okay to follow up with you next week to see if you got the help that you needed?
No problem.
So I will be the one giving you a call back. The goal is to see if you got help from any of these programs. I appreciate your patience. Please hold for a quick survey and have a good and safe weekend. Okay?
You too.
All right. Thank you.
So you heard a couple of different things happen there. One of the biggest things was that Shalisa screened her and then actually completed the application for the United Way's COVID-19 Emergency Basic Needs Fund. Here we had an individual that her hours were cut. She's not able to afford her rent, her utilities, her food. And again, as Adam had said, this kind of funding is set up specifically to help these individuals that are experiencing these types of situations. These are our friends, these are our neighbors, these are our family members that are really struggling right now due to this pandemic. We're able to do that screening, complete that application, submit it, and then the United Way has designated partner agencies that we send that application over to, that then reach out and complete the process with the individuals and provide them assistance. It's amazing how the community has come together and is really helping individuals that are in really some difficult times right now due to the pandemic. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is, you heard at the end there, Shalisa offer to do some follow-up with her. Many times individuals that are struggling and that are in crisis kind of feel like they're out on an island by themselves. And here at 211, we want to make sure that they know that we will offer to them, can we follow up with you? And depending on what type of a situation is, how quickly we follow up. But following up with them to make sure that they got connected with those agencies and make sure that they receive some assistance and are in a better place after reaching out to us. If we could have that next slide. So normally individuals are reaching out to us for basic needs, and right now that's only again amplified by the pandemic. We've always had individuals reaching out for these 5 top needs to 211. Our calls doubled when the pandemic started, and these were areas that continue to be those areas that people are struggling with. These aren't the only areas that we have resources in our database. Go ahead and hit that one more time, and it's going to show us that we have over 800,000 different referrals for services in our database for not only these types of needs, including housing and food and utility assistance, but for other needs, whether it be someone struggling with depression and is looking for counseling services or support groups, or things like employment assistance. They're looking to see if they can get back into the workforce now. Maybe they had lost their job due to the pandemic. So there are referrals for, basically, you think about the type of human service need, we have that in our 211 database. Not only including these, the United Way Special Emergency Basic Needs funded programs, but many thousands of different nonprofit agencies and partner agencies within our database. Hit that one more time. And I think something that many times people don't realize about 211, Adam was talking earlier about kind of knowing what people need within the community and how important that is, kind of how the needs fluctuate and what's happening, so that United Way makes sure that they're funding the right types of programs depending on the needs in the community. A lot of the information that they get about what the needs are in the community actually comes from 211. If you think about it, we're collecting a ton of information about what the needs are right now, real time in the community. And we can provide reporting not only to the United Way, but to other community agencies about what's happening. What are we able to provide referrals and resources for, and what aren't we? Because that really helps educate the community about where this funding needs to go, so that we can fill gaps, so that we can make sure that we're assisting everyone in the community with what their needs are. So 211 really plays a vital role with those kind of areas within the community. And then our last slide just kind of ties everything together. 211 plays an extremely vital role in it, especially now during the pandemic, just making sure that people are getting connected to all those resources that are out there that really can assist them. And I think that the United Way's Emergency Basic Needs Fund is an amazing example how the community has come together, and how the donations and how the contributions that everyone makes to a fund like that is really being impactful real time right now today, because of those that are struggling. So 211, we're always trying to get the word out, making sure that people know that we exist, making sure that people know to reach out to us when they're in need. And all of you I know are also advocates and speaking on behalf of 211, and we appreciate that. So thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. And I'm going to hand it over to someone.
Yeah, while Cinda's here with us, I wanted to see if there were any questions. I don't see any yet in the Q&A, but does anyone have any questions about 211 or anything that Cinda went through with us today?
I'm on the hot seat. Now's the time to ask questions.
Yeah, I don't see any questions, but thank you, Cinda. Thank you, Adam. This was so good today. And I'm glad you pointed out that it's not just for someone who meets a certain financial hardship or income guidelines, that anybody can use 211 for anything. And I know personally, I've referred, just having a conversation with somebody and they've mentioned something and they're not sure where to go or who to talk to. And I've just said, call 211. They may not be able to help you, but they can tell you where to go, if they don't know the answer. So yeah, I think it's a great resource. And I do believe that is throughout the whole state, right? Pennsylvania?
Yeah, so we're not only within Pennsylvania, we have coverage in every county. It is also a national service. Now, in different states, it may not have complete state coverage. So if you're in another state, you can always try it. And then it's international also because it's in Canada. So in case you're traveling.
That's good to know. Thank you. And thank you again, everybody, for joining, for tuning in. I think, did we get a question? I think we just had someone say thank you. They weren't aware of 211. So this was good. It's being recorded so we can share it with the university community. I do want to make one announcement just to let everybody know that usually Pitt and Duquesne University, they usually have a basketball game, I believe, in the fall, and it's called the City Game that everybody looks forward to attending, and because of COVID, they weren't able to have that this year. But we have been challenged by Duquesne in having a different type of city game. So we're going to actually have a trivia challenge, Pitt versus Duquesne, that will be happening after the winter recess, but we are going to be looking for people who love trivia to join in, to form a team. More information will be coming out about that, but they're already excited and talking about it, and they can't wait to compete against Pitt that way. So just start practicing your trivia is all I can say. But thank you all. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.